Here are 10 most forbidden places around the world. Number 10. Lascaux Caves, France. Not all UNESCO World Heritage Sites are open to the public. For example, the Lascaux Caves in France have been banned to enter since 1963, because they were threatened by a series of fungal invasions due to a large number of visitors. This occasion revealed that any human presence is destructive to the caves. So to preserve 900 examples of prehistoric art dating back to the Paleolithic era, tourists can't come in there anymore. These days, the caves are accessible only by security guards, but even they face certain limitations to visit. They can enter the caves once a week and spend only a few minutes there. Number 9. Mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang, China. Although the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang was discovered upon unearthing the Terracotta Army in 1974, it hasn't been excavated yet. According to the opponents of excavation of the tomb, modern technologies can't prevent its destruction. For this reason, the access to it is still forbidden by the Chinese government that strives to preserve their cultural heritage and pays respect to the man buried there. All we know about the mausoleum now is that it consists of a complex network of caverns underground, filled with the objects that, according to those who buried him, the emperor could have needed in the afterlife. Among others, it holds the reproduction of his army, known as the Terracotta Army, made of clay. Number 8. Svalbard Global Seed Vault, Norway. Sometimes referred to as the Doomsday Vault, the Global Seed Vault in Norway is actually a very important place for all of us. It stores 100 million seeds from all over the world to restore the plant kingdom in case something really bad happens to our planet's vegetation. Opened in 2008, the vault was built to last about 200 years and it can withstand explosions and earthquakes. Besides, since it was placed on the side of a mountain, it will still be above sea level, even if all ice on the planet melts. It's interesting that the vault knows no politics, even North Korea has given its seeds for storage there. Number 7. North Sentinel Island, India. North Sentinel Island is a small landmass in the Bay of Bengal. Its indigenous population, known as the Sentinelese, rejects any contact with the outside world and remains one of the few peoples that remain untouched by our civilization. How do they keep outsiders away from their island? They simply shoot arrows in them. For this reason, it's impossible to approach the island and survive the encounter. Here's an interesting fact: when researchers were assessing the damage after the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, even their helicopters were attacked by the Sentinelese for approaching the island. None of them were hurt, of course, but this example shows how fiercely the island's population is protecting their territory. Number 6. Mezhgorye, Russia. Being the largest country in the world, Russia is certainly full of surprises. It has a lot of mysterious sites, ghost towns, and other special places. Like, for example, Mezhgorye. It's a closed town hidden somewhere in the southern Ural Mountains. To keep off anyone who wants to penetrate into the town or even come close to it, it's encircled by 2 battalions. It's not 100% clear that this area is and why it's surrounded by this kind of secrecy. According to most believable reports, it's a nuclear missile site that allegedly has automatic missiles that can be controlled remotely. But, since government officials don't comment anything on it, we still can't be sure what Mezhgorye is. Number 5. Surtsey, Iceland. Surtsey, one of the youngest islands in the world, appeared due to a volcanic eruption that lasted from 1963 to 1967. These days, it is only used for scientific purposes. Any visitors, except for research groups, are forbidden to visit this island, because on its example scientists want to understand how ecosystems form without any human influence. One of the main rules for the scientists was to avoid bringing any seeds to the island. However, some of them disregarded it and brought tomato seeds there in their own colon. In other words, someone pooped there and a tomato plant sprouted up. As soon as scientists realized the origin of this plant, they removed it to continue their spotless research. Number 4. Niihau Island, Hawaii, USA. Also known as the Forbidden Island, Niihau was purchased by Elizabeth Sinclair, a Scottish farmer and plantation owner, back in 1864, and since then it's privately owned by her descendants. In 1952, the Hawaiian Islands faced a polio epidemic and, as an attempt to avoid the spreading of the disease, a ban to leave or enter the island was issued. Luckily, no one got sick on Niihau and now it houses a population of only around 170 people. To enter it, One has to get a special permission, which is quite difficult not only for us, average people, but also for the rich and popular. Number 3. Poveglia, Italy. Poveglia is a small island located between Venice and Lido. In the past, it used to be a plague quarantine station and hosted more than 160,000 infected people, who were living their last days and hours there. According to some reports, 50% of the island's soil consists of human remains. And, as if this tragedy wasn't enough, the island later became home to a mental hospital that had a very sinister reputation. After some time it was closed and now Poveglia is strictly forbidden to enter for anyone. As if someone in their right mind would want to come to this creepy place. Number 2. Pluto's Gate, Turkey. Back in the ancient times, people didn't dare to come into Pluto's Gate in Hierapolis, Turkey, because they believed it to be a very dangerous place. According to the ancient historian Strabo, no one could survive there. After visiting this place, he wrote that he threw in sparrows and they immediately breathed their last and fell. How cruel it was of him to experiment like that on poor sparrows. Anyway, to everyone's surprise, Pluto Gate's reputation was confirmed by scientists in 1965. After measuring the CO2 concentration, they found out that at night, when the temperature decreases and CO2 becomes heavier than air, it forms some kind of a lake on the bottom of the gate. At dawn the concentration reaches its peak and any living being risks their life by getting there. However, at daytime the site becomes safer, because the sun dissipates the gas. Number 1. Fort Knox, Kentucky, USA. Being home to the bigger half of the U.S. gold reserves, the Fort Knox is frequently referred to as the most heavily guarded place in the world. It has quite a few security measures that can blow anyone's mind. The most interesting thing is that even none of the staff members can have an access to the vault. To gain access to it, they need to know several combinations, but each staff member knows only one of them, so they can only enter the vault with the help of their colleagues. Besides, since the building is made of concrete-lined granite and reinforced by steel, it can withstand any attack from the outside world.